viewers, today's topic is on the series of population and sustainable environment in India. In this program, we are going to learn about sustainability and Rio Earth Summit, core value of sustainability, sustainable program, sustainable development in society, sustainable society and management, static sustainability and dynamic sustainability, international cross currents of sustainability, dimensions of sustainable development as a process of change, environmental management, factors that influence environment, environmental constituents, development and management policy. So, let us begin. First of all, we look at the core value of sustainability. The core idea and value was to ensure that the current generations should meet their own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet all the needs. It is also in some part associated with promoting social justice, fair play and a stable society. Applying this concept to the human systems, we can picture a sustainable society which is in balance with the natural world, which will continue generation after generation. Continue neither depleting its resource base, rather by exceeding sustainable yields and nor by producing pollutants in excess of nature's capacity to absorb them in the perfect blend. The number of primitive societies was sustainable in the aforesaid sense for thousands of years. Herein, what is important is to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs, maintaining the health of the planet. In the term of conservation of nature, it refers to the use of natural resources in a way where it can be re-needed, such that the environment's natural qualities are maintained and managed properly. Viewers, looking at sustainable program, in fact, the word sustainability is like the innate ability of a microcredit program. It is the ensure ways to maintain its operations and continue to provide service to its customers or clients. In fact, a program is said to be sustainable only when a combination of external grants, loans and internally generated revenues are sufficient to cover all expenses of the program over long-term basis. It is a concept, idea and strategy by which communities seek approach the economic development that benefit local environment and quality of life. Let's cast a look at sustainable development and society now. The development of anything done for the welfare of the society without depleting the core is sustainability. Sustainable development provides a framework under which the communities can use the resources efficiently, create efficient infrastructures, protect and enhance the quality of life, and create new businesses to strengthen their economies. It is about creating inclusive capital and wealth for the society at the cost of nothing. A sustainable community is attained, reached and achieved by a long-term integrated approach to developing and achieving a healthy community by addressing the issues of economic, environmental and social issues. Moreover, fostering a strong sense of community bonding, building partnerships and building consensus amongst the key stakeholders are all important elements which contribute to the cause. It is the ability of a system of any kind that shall endeavor, endure and implement a healthy practice over a long-term period. Looking at sustainable society and management now, we see that universal concern is for a sustainable society to develop and manage properly. A sustainable society is one in which healthy, vital, resilient and able to creatively adapt to changing conditions over a period of time. Sustainable Seattle, a pioneering effort in this field, defined it as the long-term healthy and vitality of cultural, economic and environmental and social systems. It speaks of an infinite process of uninterrupted continuity. A durable positive program or project can be possible by a method which is technically employed, applied in rightful ways, obtained cooperation and channeling it in the expected direction. Each component has to be knitted through the program or project designed to be driven. Static sustainability and dynamic sustainability tell us that in the case a program or project is said to be having static sustainability when the continuous flow of the same benefits are set in motion till it is completed. It is always intended for the same kind of target groups. On the other hand, a program or project is said to be having a dynamic sustainability when it uses or adapts the program or project resulting in different outputs. Now, there is a debate and discussion on sustainable development. To peep into such debates, we see that the idea, the term and the concept of sustainable development sparked debate and discussion amongst the world bodies and countries. It awaked environmental and developmental concerns of different countries and slowly got regulated. The term development was referred as continued improvement of living standards by economic growth, usually in the developing countries. It was exactly thought for the countries underdeveloped too. Gradually industrialized developing countries and the countries in different stages of economy accepted the concept of sustainable development for general welfare. Today, it is seen that industrialized countries are getting more concerned about environmental sustainability and developing countries are more concerned about economic development. Cross-current of ideas evolving out of the rich and the poor countries is posing challenge to the thought of environmental sustainability. In one country, economic exploitation is needed for survival of the citizens, and in advanced countries, industrialization effluent is treating to the civilization of live health. Striking a counterpoise between both the ends is the catch. International cross-currents of sustainability tell us that this concern for the concept, idea and practice of sustainable development is now well entrenched in the international circle. Currently, it has become important for all as a faith. As the term sounds affable and acceptable, people believed that it is possibly taken up. It has incorporated some ideas into the conscience of people that are needed for each of the stakeholders. At least people have understood the urgency of utilization of available resources, wherein the needs of the present can be attended and future generations can be equally deserving a right on the present. Due to the scales of economy of people, of regions, of countries, sustainable development means different things to different people. Viewpoints and perspectives of sustainable environment are many and multiple types. To assimilate all the heterogeneous ideas into homogeneity is the concern for all. How to manage pollution and poverty is the treat to development and preservation of environment. There are three divergent processes of sustainability, that is economical, sociological and ecological. Many factors are in the process to perceive the aspects of sustainable development and to find solution to the problems. Diversity cannot be viewed as adversity. What is to be searched is the unity of thought, convergence of national ideology and meeting of minds in the global village. It can happen through the convergence of diverging issues. These inevitable divergences can be illustrated by many viewpoints of three major disciplines. These major disciplines, which are traditionally concerned with processes involved. In fact, if we examine the three angles, we see vividly diverging vistas. First of all, we see that all along economists are concerned with growth, efficiency and maximum use of resources. Secondly, it is seen that sociologists focus on human needs and concepts like equity, empowerment, social cohesion and cultural identity. And thirdly, we see ecologists show greatest concern on preserving natural systems for living with the carrying capacity of environment and dealing pollution. Thus, therefore, it can be argued that sustainable solutions will be found only where the concerns of these three groups intersect, converge and move in a singular path. Viewers, now let's cast a look at the dimensions to the sustainable development. We see that dimensions to sustainable development are manifold and countless. Yet, there are certain dimensions to the sustainable development. Sustainable development is a process of change. Sustainable development is the ultimate way to retain the originality of matter. being in track, changing under circumstances, consequent upon utilization of resources. It is a process through which change can occur without changing the properties of resources. Sustainable development is a process of change in which the exploitation of resources, the direction of investment, the orientation of technological, developmental and institutional change are all in harmony and enhance both current and future potential to meet human need and aspiration. Looking at how to manage the environment, environment management is essential to safeguard the people and humanity. Looking at the factors that influence the environment, we see that the existing environment is affected by the surrounding outer factors which inflict catalytic change in the life form. Life of organism is changing in a chaotic process impacted by forces instrumental in shifting attributes. Eventually, these are the ecological factors which are obvious. In fact, environment of any place get changed by the following ecological factors. These are physiographic, climatic factors and biotic factors which bring forth change in the ecosystem. These aspects are required to be guarded against from the factors of degeneration. Now viewers, let's see the environmental constituents. It is observed that the major factors which need to be checked are the environmental constituents. As a matter of fact, environment is broadly classified into 4 different layers. It is mostly consisting of characteristic traits encompassing the physical, the chemical and biological aspects. These are atmosphere or air, hydrosphere or water, lithosphere or land and the biosphere. They broadly are exposed to the reckless devastation caused due to the Mother Earth from the planet civilization. Looking at how to develop and manage the pollution, we realize that to understand processes involved in the development actions that does not pollute the environment and manage pollution is critical to evaluate. What is important is to be in the process of development contributing to humankind and not degrading the environment is pivotal. To do that, understanding the quintessence of environment is necessary. Managing and maintaining a life process devoid of degradation to flora and fauna in its remotest degree is required. Process of living has to be protected, prevented and preserved in its normalcy in spite of scientific and technological innovations. An absorbing environment conducive to implications of change due to the cause of it is the lookout for solution. Living beings are dependent on the purity of environment, which enables existence. The ambient standard of noise for the category of areas for limiting the sound decibel in daytime and nighttime are given below for the understanding of an assessment on Bhubaneswar. ਇਹ ਕੱਟਣੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਲਾਈਨ, ਇਹ ਗਲਤ ਲਾਈਨ ਆ ਗਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਰੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਕੱਟਣੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੋਂ। ਚਲ ਹਾਂ ਇਹ 1 ਲਾਈਨ ਕੱਟ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੈ, ਡਿਲੀਟ ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ। ਮੈਂ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੱਟ ਦਵਾਂ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ। Now viewers, looking at the environment as an integral part of the universe, we see that universal ethical best practices are pivotal for holding the environment intact. Eventually, environment is an integral and part of the universe, including the vast expanse of the celestial constellation. It is seen that the systems integrated by the nature which are governing it are a part of the universe. All of them responding and communicate with each other and are interdependent and interrelated. Indeed, environment is the sum total of all external conditions affecting life and survival of organisms. It dovetails quite a critical and complex set of physical, geographical, biological, social, cultural and political conditions which revolve and fly around the organisms. It ultimately determines the responding form of survival in the organisms. All activities coexist under the atmosphere for the external conditions. All biological, chemical and physical conditions provide shelter to organisms and cater conditions to co-create a congenial climate to sustain. Environment is a thing in which mankind lives and hence all the persons are part of the environment. Environment is holistic The term environment is not an independent entity and cannot be treated in isolation. It is used in combination and composition with objects, regions, and conditions. It is a dynamic constellation which is changing and shaping to new forms. It is also defined as a group of natural, social, and cultural values creating a texture in life. This may exist in a place, in a point of time, fleeting in a non-linear fashion. It influences material, substance, and psychological life of people staying in the environment. All organizations operate in air, water, land, and natural resources. All the flora and the fauna influence human beings. Their interrelations is intending to the composite conditions. This extends from individual focus to the global arenas of turbulent upheavals. Environment means more than natural and natural sources because natural world is indefinitely expanded. To conclude, we see that the outcomes of high population growth rates are increasing the number of people below poverty line and increasing population density and pressure on land. So viewers, in this program we have learnt about population growth in India, trends in poverty and its environmental effects, environmental challenges, pressure on land, forest resources, land soil degradation, changing consumption, rising demand for energy, global warming and climate change, water scarcity and water pollution, policy implications, sustainable environment, common interpretations of sustainability, beginning of Indian environment movement, Gandhian protest, implementing protection programs, sustainability, Rio Earth Summit, core value of sustainability and sustainable program, sustainable development and society, sustainable society and management, static sustainability in dynamic sustainability, international cross currents of sustainability, dimensions of sustainable development as a process of change, environmental management, factors that influence environment, environmental constituents, development and management. Thank you viewers for watching the program.